Live today. This is early in the morning here, but I'm going to share with you the conversation that I had with Tio. He's also one of the coach for business and money. Mindset that I had a pleasure of meeting the last time we had a talk or a panel speaking engagement in San Diego during time today. I am in Chicago right now, and unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do live today. This is early in the Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is Janice Jimenez, your real estate gal for the OnPoint conversations this noontime today. I am in Chicago right now, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do live today. This is early in the morning here, but I'm going to share with you the conversation that I had with Tio. He's also one of the coach for business and mindset that I had a pleasure of meeting the last time we had a talk or a panel speaking engagement in San Diego during the BizCon conference. So I think that there's a lot of nuggets that you can learn from this conversation that we had, and I will be back with you next week new time on Wednesday to share with you the things that I learned on this workshop that I'm going on this week. So I'm excited to share with you this conversation. I hope you learned something from it, and at the end of that conversation I'd also want to share with you our recording on the offering on reverse mortgages. I know that some of you had it before, or maybe are considering of doing a reverse mortgage. So I'm going to share that with you, and hopefully if you have any questions, just drop in comments down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So thank you guys. Enjoy this conversation and watch the presentation on reverse mortgages. And I shall see you next Wednesday, same time, same place, noontime, right here on OnPoint Conversations with Janice Jimenez, Wednesdays at noon.
Their brand message,
Right.
thus their business, but do it in a way that's not sacrificing their energetic bandwidth and allowing them to still have like a business model that allows them to have a full blown lifestyle. So when they do go to travel, they can still serve from online, and they can also not have to feel so confused by all the crazy technology. We just do a very simple system of creating the right content to attract our clients' ideal high value clients. And so that comes from having an irresistible, I call it the invitation, right? Because a lot of people say, oh, it's the offer, but invitation is more of a feminine way to sell. And so it's more magnetic that way instead
That's
of
true.
offer implies someone could say yes or no. It's
And
like invitation. You can either come to the party or you don't. But either way, it's like a joke.
in a
It's like,
non-invasive,
it's like we're having a party.
kind of
You can
way,
come.
right?
You don't want to come. It's your loss. But
Yeah.
we're gonna have a great time.
I love
right?
it.
So, but then there's this subconscious component that I think is the most important. But some people like you and I who have already kind of transcended that bottom portion of business success, which is you got to take control of your life and make it happen. There's almost a surrender that has to happen of letting go of control and trusting systems.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah,
It took me a little while to really let go.
Yeah, there's always the next level of letting go.
Yeah.
But that's the paradox of business development, is that you've got to trust that even if the job gets done 80% of the time, as long as there's a system for people to follow, they can still help you get the result, because then your time is actually spent doing more creative things and building more powerful relationships that could create more leverage in your business. Everything's about leverage.
Right.
And so subconscious reprogramming helps people to get leverage on their emotional ego. The part of people that makes people identified with their circumstances, which keeps them stuck in indecisiveness and unwillingness sometimes even to like consistently be courageous, consistently lean into their edge of speaking powerfully, making the sale, making the offer, putting themselves out there on social media consistently and powerfully, without having this persona fatigue, like, oh, I feel like I'm so tired because I'm just not being myself. It's like, well, that's why, because you don't think you're enough.
Exactly.
So you gotta own that.
That's a limiting belief, though, right?
It's a false belief, yeah. But it's in addition to that, that creates. We just live in this society where that actual outcome of persona fatigue, it creates this self-judgment fatigue that also drains people's energy, which is beating themselves up because they're always constantly consuming on social media, which implies they're always constantly comparing themselves to people who they don't even realize have just as much of a messy backstage as they do. So they're comparing the backstage to the front stage, and that's not even reality. Okay, because I'm friends with some of the most successful people in the world, and it's not like that. It's not like that. It's not all rainbows and butterflies.
Exactly.
And the sooner people can accept that, the less decision fatigue they'll have. And sometimes I hear from people who are in like spirituality, which I'm very spiritual. You know, I meditate an hour a day. I connect to nature every day. Love art, and just being with the flow of movement and this astrology.
And
like energy. I'm all about that energy. Yeah, and sometimes people use that as like a cop-out, like, oh, I need to heal more before I build my business. I'm like, what?
Do you ever feel that you're never ever ready?
Sometimes,
if you just don't jump into
that can be the healing too.
Yeah,
you know, that massive action actually breaks your ego just as much.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, oh, I don't have to be perfect.
Well, then you're forced to make decisions when you're already there and not like second guessing yourself, right?
Exactly.
So then all of this makes you makes you become the real you. Because otherwise, if you have to step back and I got to think about it, you got to hyper analyze everything, that really stops you from moving forward. In fact, it makes you go backwards. Right?
Yep.
And so what is the factor that gets people from point A to point B is to just take massive action. Just do it.
Yes, and then ideally, what I would recommend for someone who's not like really full time, which is, you know, I think it should be at least 15, 20K a month as an expert, is save money, and then save that premium money for a coach that can actually help you avoid massive mistakes
and
that you don't need to make.
And time and money.
Time, money. They can help you be moving in the right direction.
Well, the thing is, some
So-
people believe that they know what it takes to get from point A to where they want to be, although they see that path. The path may not be that easy, or the path may not be that straight as they thought it would be.
It's never straight.
It's never straight. It's never a linear line, right? You know, so the path of success is always full of tribulations and turns and a lot of challenges right around the corner. But then again, you have to start back with a neuro-linguistic programming where you are prepared and you expect it even. You expect these things so that it doesn't scare you or blind you or hit you unprepared. And that's what your systems are important to have.
And it's very easy, just what you said around systems, to get so hyper self-absorbed in our own fear of, like, am I smart enough or am I educated enough? And this is what I think a lot of people get confused, which is like they think that if they get more qualifications, then they'll make more clients, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just because they think you get paid for your level of communication, not your competency.
That's true.
And that comes from taking the time to really stop and assess what's your vision, values, mission. Like, why are you here?
Exactly.
Why ultimately do you
want to do this?
And who are the people in your life that you could position in your life, like someone like this woman, myself, in your life, position to leverage so that you get there quick. Because you can either spend time on that result or you can spend money on getting there faster.
Exactly.
Faster. Okay, because, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's investing in yourself, though. People don't understand it. It's the same as having education, same as having go to school. Getting a coach, I think, is just something that people are realizing the importance of now rather than before, because it's always like, well, it's not bachelor's degree, it's not an associate degree, it's like a tutor, and it's sometimes feel in their mind that getting a tutor is just because you're not good enough. Like you said, you're not good enough, right? So I'm going to get a tutor because I'm not good enough, but really that's not the case. It's going to find help where help can be found. Right?
Yes. I am fascinated at how quick I grow. When I'm still fascinated, ask myself, okay, all the things that I firmly believe, even things that I'm like prioritizing as like strong values, like integrity, right? I still want to ask myself, what is the opposite of the thing that I'm so strong about, like strong in belief by? Because of course integrity is important, and like I have to always point the finger at myself and not just be this kind of extremist, but just because for instance, like I was very spiritual, and I think that diluted me a lot too, though, because I didn't know the numbers in my business. I didn't know the actual reality.
You had the percentage of spirituality being more than the facts.
Exactly. Than reality. There's some value to looking at what the circumstance is, but it's just not playing from the circumstantial self that's limited by, identifying with your bank account, which is why you can't be confident. Instead, why don't we just say, hey, why don't we just feel as if we've already got it? And that's the secret. Maybe it's week 4 of the month and you haven't hit your monthly goal, income revenue goal, so that you can help more people. What if you just said, what if I hit double my goal just in the last week? How would I show up then? Then you're not pressuring yourself in linear time. You're doing more quantum work to step into the energetic of like, I can access that. I can access that.
Yeah. And I think that's the importance of having affirmations, right? Because when you affirm something, you already believe you have it. You're already there. You already believe that it has already been given to you, right?
Yes.
So you come from a point where I'm ready for it. It's not like when I get there, right? In your mind, because your brain would believe it. Your brain believes what you affirm for it to believe. Right? And it will make everything, it almost follows your direction as you affirm and think about things positively. And I think that's from all the studies, the books that I read, and some coaches that I follow. I think that's the power of positive thinking and affirmation. Like you said, you need to believe that it's already here rather than it's in the future. That's your mission and vision. But then how to get there from there is in between your ears too.
Yes. And I think what you covered is the logical, rational part of the brain, which is so important. And to just add on to what you said, you know, when we worked with Aisha, she was a breathwork practitioner, and she was so confident, you know, like she
Who's
was
Aisha?
she's a breathwork facilitator in
Okay.
Australia, one of our past clients, and she didn't really have a social media presence, but she was wanting to build her business online. And so one of the things that she was afraid of was that kind of unknown. And so I just told her, it's only unknown to your ego. It's not unknown to your highest self.
Right.
Right. So what she realized though was that there's also this kind of releasing of an emotional, like, inner child identity, because then there's this disharmony, and people know that's there because they'll take a step forward and then 2 steps back. It's called self-sabotage, because subconsciously there's some kind of false payoff to not reaching their goals, because then it reaffirms and reinforces their unhealed trauma energy that's actually just running their life without them being conscious of it. And I know this is like a deep topic.
It is really, we're going really deep here.
But like, you know, once
it's important to know though.
Because think about it this way, right? If you said yes to every opportunity in your life, you would not have anything to do, like, else to do. So it's almost like you got to figure out what you got to stop doing just as much, and say no to things that are no longer in alignment,
serving
that, you know, maybe helped you to get to here. And it's okay to change up your circle a bit, okay, you know, to help you surround yourself with people who are seeing things from a different paradigm, so that you can kind of raise yourself up to that standard. And then your tolerance for gossip, complaining, victim consciousness, it just goes down, and then you're just going to automatically rise up to that, because you're not draining your energy capital from those kind of darker patterns that are in our consciousness.
Wow, this is going way deep, and I think we're gonna have a little bit more.
I'm a Scorpio, so
that's all right. No. Hey, you're going.
I like to go deep.
You're going. Hey, people.
Oh yes, PG.
No, but
but deep, like spiritually, right? Like emotionally, right?
Exactly. But I also want to have another conversation like this on my Facebook Live. I do an hour of this, so we can really kind of delve and dive into more things, because I think this is really a start of, you know, beautiful conversations, and maybe a lot of people learning from both of us. You know, a lot more from you, of course, because look at this. We only have been here 18 minutes.
Yeah.
13 minutes.
Wow,
and
time flies when
right. And it's fun, and I don't even realize that. I thought we've only been talking 2 minutes, but look at this, how much we covered.
People love to eavesdrop on people's conversation,
but we're giving them a right to do
and
so.
It's beautiful.
It's so
you know, because it's almost like, I feel like I build a relationship with, like, if I was this person, you watching this, okay, I know that if I were to speak in front of 1,000 people, I'm really only speaking to one person times X, right? So when people see us through the camera, they're getting to kind of eavesdrop on how we naturally, authentically are, which actually builds the trust, because it's almost like when we put the eyes on you and we're looking at you, now you're seen. You know, and there's nothing for you to hide, and there's nothing. Same thing
for us. There's nothing for us to hide.
Yeah, exactly. So people can, for instance, right? Like when I first meet people and our clients, I will just kind of assess them. I won't tell them unless they work with us, but I'll assess the level of projection and eye contact, body language, and how they hold their posture, and I can tell how much protection they have, egoic protection. If their voice trembles, or they're always twitching like this, like they can't hold eye contact, there's some kind of energy inside that they don't know how to kind of facilitate through, right? Release, yeah. So, but when their voice unlocks, you can just tell when someone's fully present. And that's what I want for the world, is to everyone access their power. Yeah. Because presence is the power. Most people think it's in like the doing, and it's not. It's the consciousness that you're in as you're making the content, as you're selling, as you're speaking. Yep. And so once people understand how to align their consciousness, you can go make a ton of cash. You can be a transcendent executor, but just don't be addicted to the approval. Don't identify, need the validation. More so, just show your authentic self. Be in service and be yourself, and that's enough. and just get the right mentor who wants you to actually outshine them. Get the right, get the mentor who knows that they're just a puzzle piece along your journey,
Right.
and that you're going to do the work.
Exactly.
Not them. They teach you how, and then you execute the do. You implement it.
Coaches are just like that. The coach, you're the star.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
coach
yeah, yeah,
are just
yeah.
gonna be the wind behind.
They're the lighthouse.
Yeah, the lighthouse.
And sometimes the cheerleader, but very little. Maybe 20% of the time. Maybe 80% of the time is like,
no, cheerleader with a whip.
yeah, with a big whip, and
Yeah.
it's red, and it's covered in
Well, hey,
sprinkles. I don't know.
Theo is in Instagram. If you guys want to reach him, please tell them where to find you. Come on.
Theo Unique Voice. TheoUnique. The word voice. Yeah. And my website, theocummings.com. You can find some free resources there. I actually wasn't gonna sell anything at this speaking event, but I'm actually willing to do a special offer for people who come to the live event, because it shows that they're actually committed.
All right.
And so
just showing up makes the big difference.
Because normally it's like 10K, 20K, 50K to work with us in like an intimate setting, either VIP or group. But I don't want money to just be the only barrier of entry for people, because my vision has kind of ascended basically into having more of a global impact now. So I just wanted to maybe offer something as like a special thing for the host for people like these people who want to just get a deeper level of training and being served and supported. So that's something I'm actually open to doing.
Yeah.
If we have people who are interested in that.
Of course. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And again, you're in Instagram, and we will be back for more of these conversations on my Facebook Live. That's also actually, it's streamed on YouTube as well. So Janice Jimenez, your real estate gal here. We're in San Diego. We're in the BizCon, and we just happen to be sitting here, and we'll say, let's have them eavesdrop on our conversation, because there's a lot to learn. And so good luck to your journey. And again, reach out for help, right?
Yeah, you're the answer within. It's always within. Every coach will tell you it's inside of you, and they're going to show you the blind spot, and then they're going to allow you to have a system that raises you up. So if you can let a system raise you up, that's step by step by step, trust the process. TTP,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Trust the process.
Amen.
God forbid
Amen.
you love the process. God forbid. God forbid.
Oh my
right?
goodness. Imagine.
Oh man. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's
right.
been fun, Theo.
It's been amazing.
I
Thank
have
you
a
so
new
much.
friend now.
Yes, yes.
So see you again on our next conversations. Theo, the unique voice.
Theo Unique Voice, yeah.
Theo Unique Voice. And
you just call me Theo Soul Cummings. That's my
I
actual real name.
know. But we'll see each other again on Facebook, because I'm going to bring you up to my audience as well.
I would love that. I would be honored.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.
Come on.
The perfect match. It's what so many of us are looking for. When it comes to getting a mortgage, how can you find the one that's perfect for you? Start with your local independent mortgage broker. Because the only way to get a mortgage that's cheaper, faster, and easier is to talk to us first. Find your perfect mortgage match. Call us today.